What's going on, guys? Tracomaster here. Welcome back to another video. And yes, I am late, kind of-ish in many ways, but whatever. I had stuff to do, you know, vacation and stuff. Okay, I'm lazy, but I will make up for it, so okay. But get ready for some philosophy, because not actually delivering the video on time kind of more or less ties into today's video. Or the theme of today's video. Speaking of, I doubt I was your first choice to watch. I think maybe you saw my video and was like, oh, okay, I'll go watch that soon. And maybe not with everyone, but with a lot of people, I probably will be second choice. But, you know, most often, like, first choices are expensive because you pay for the brand and all that kind of stuff. And the second choice is kind of better. You know what I mean? Okay, so I'm the second choice. But that doesn't necessarily mean I am worse. No, of course not. And that's what I want to talk about today. Now, I've always been kind of second in line when it comes to a few things. Now, of course, you rarely notice, or I rarely probably notice when I come first and I come before somebody else. But that's not what I want to talk about today. I kind of want to give some impressions about when I came second. Now, ignoring the very obvious sexual reference to coming second, I'm just going to talk about what normal people would talk about. Although, like, okay, whatever, that's something for another video. Now, when it, for example, comes to swimming competitions, that's the first base. Swimming competitions. That's the first example I have. Now, I participated in swimming competitions quite early on, and there was always that one guy who was my age, he was my friend, but he always came first. And I always came second, and that was with multiple. That was multiple times the case. And actually, a funny story about that. Once we were at a match, and he had actually come first, and we had to. He was awarded a prize once, and with the second time we swam, he came first again, and I came second again. And so basically, the guy that was actually giving out the prizes was like, no, you already have a prize. I'll give this one to the second guy. So actually, I won the first and quote-unquote trophy as well. It was a big trophy, and it really didn't say first on there, but it was a big trophy, and that was what it's all about. And that was with little children, okay. But, I mean, second, for example, with my brother. Now, things have always been handed down, whether it be clothes or furniture, for example. It was quite a while into my life until I actually got my own furniture. Until then, I had always more or less gotten everything from my brother, and, I mean, sometimes I got something for myself. Now, this is not me not being grateful. I mean, I'm definitely in a privileged position, and I know that myself, and I don't have to prove anything to anyone. But, I mean, now it's like my brother has moved out for quite a long time, and I've more or less moved up to the first choice, quote-unquote. But, I mean, there is still someone, or a child, basically. It sounds so materialized, I'm saying some child. But there's still someone in a child age who lives with me, and like parents and child. Okay, so you get it. I'm not alone. So I'm not like that one guy that gets treated by his parents as if he were gold. And I mean, I think you have to not have had something to appreciate what you have. Now, so much about stories. Moving on to choices. Now, I have been, as I said, in a privileged position. So my mother was always like, oh, you want some ice cream? Let's get some ice cream. And she was always like, pick the ice cream that you want. Obviously, I did that. And I always had the temptation to get the biggest ice cream, like the most expensive one. Not per se, but the biggest one was the most expensive. But I mean, what I'm about to tell you is something I can actually learn from myself right now as well. But I mean, not having too much, not always getting the maximum, is something that I learn every day, and not every day, but every now and then I noticed like, well, I actually would have done fine if I wouldn't have gone for the like biggest thing. And so, I mean, if small things can be nice. For example, Capri Suns are small but delicious. And I mean, if you have a dirty mind, you might be, again, thinking about sexual references. I mean, one person might be, again, like, oh, I didn't think of that, and others are already 5 minutes ahead of me. But, I mean... yeah, you just have to sometimes minimalize, if I may say so. And that is something, again, I could learn from myself, because second choices aren't that bad most of the time, and you can do without a lot of the time. And that is something I've learned, that we here in the Western world have very privileged positions, like all of us. And I mean, this is where you can go on the race debate. Like one time, I took part in a debate which was about that people from that are not from Europe are not getting the good chances in this city, and they're not very privileged, and they have to fight really hard. But I mean, that's just. I mean, sometimes it might seem as if you were second choice, but in the end, it's just like your perception. It's the same thing with the race thing going on in America right now. People think they're second choice, but when you look at the statistics, it's all by themselves. They're all really they're exaggerating, and it's all in their heads. And yeah, so I mean, this might be more psychological than philosophical, but I think before I go on and ramble too much, I think I'm going to end it off right here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you could have had some, or you could figure out some deeper meaning in what I wanted to say. I mean, the end point was be happy with what you have, even if you're second choice. Things will be alright, and if you work hard and play hard, haha. Why did I say that? I know, because I watched 22 Jump Street, that was that. Yeah, so if you work hard and have a goal and you're kind to people, that's always something I try to be, is very kind to people. Except maybe the members of Duskwad, but I mean, they're fucktards anyways. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I'll be more than glad to welcome you back next time, when I will be making another video, hopefully on time. If you're not back by then, well, then you're not. But if you're back then until next time, and I'll see you guys around. Bye.